Ah, yes, we had him last week telling us about the Olympics. And now the British guy Steve Best joins us every Wednesday with hand gestures and synchronized swimming, I believe I'm seeing here. Steve Best, top of the morning, top of the afternoon to ya.
Well, good afternoon. Let me tell you, the only 102 we're going to see here is the number of inches of rain. It's absolutely falling down like we wouldn't believe at the moment. It's horrible.
It sounds like it's doing more than it did even during the Olympics at this point.
Oh, it is. It's cats, dogs, small animals, gerbils, badgers, everything flying down.
Wow, get a pet. Go to Britain and get a pet is what you're saying. Just hold out your arms and one will fall into your lap. Well, you know, we talked to you about the Olympics and all the stuff that was going on there. You have come across some research that shows gold normally best, then silver, then bronze. But the winning aspect isn't necessarily the way you feel good about yourself doesn't necessarily go in that order. Is that right?
That's correct. They did some research and they found that the people who were happiest about getting medals were the gold medalists, obviously, because they come first. But the bronze medalists were also very happy because, let's face it, they got a medal. That's better than nothing. But the silver medalists were not very happy people. You only have to take a look at the picture of your American gymnast, Michaela Maroney, who came second in the vault. There's this kind of famous picture of her, and she really doesn't look happy at all. And the problem with silver medalists is that they feel they could have done better, and so then they tend not to be quite so satisfied.
There's always that one person that did better than they did, as opposed to the bronze who says, hey, I got something, I'm just happy to have gotten it.
Exactly. I mean, it's a great example. We had some really heart-rending interviews with British athletes who were apologizing for letting the country down because they got silver. There was one great example, a couple of rowers, Zach Purchase and Mark Hunter. They came second. They were absolutely distraught that they didn't win because they felt they'd let the country down. And, of course, we didn't feel they'd let us down at all. They got a silver. Yeah,
and it also makes me wonder, remember we were talking to you about people who bite down on their medals, you know, and apparently we found out the photographers told them to do that for the picture. I'm wondering, the next research you should do is find out, do people bite down more on gold, silver, or bronze?
Well, the reason they asked them to do it on gold medals is to make sure the gold is real, because if it's not, then your teeth will sink into it. If the gold's real, then it won't make any mark. So that's why they do it with gold medals. But that's the back secret of that one.
The only way we'll get a gold is if we get those chocolates inside the wrapping, the gold wrapping. That's good. Hey, you know, we were all very happy with how well the Olympics did. You know, there was only one little problem, I think, at the beginning where somebody walked in with a foreign team when they were doing the entry, and nobody knew who that person was. But that was about the only glitch. It looks like London has gotten some high scores for the 2012 Olympics.
It has, and I thought I've been looking at some of the different articles that different countries have written. One really stood out to me. It was actually the New York Times, and the article managed to encapsulate very well, I think, something about the British psyche, which is very interesting. Gives you a chance to find out just what we Brits are like. If I read a bit of it, it basically says, talking about Britain, triumphalism doesn't come naturally to us, where we've long been known for our dignity in defeat. That's what the article says. And, you know, I mean, one of our favourite poems in this country is The Charge of the Light Brigade, which, you know, is basically us being beaten by the Russians. So, you know, that's where we're at. And a lot of people have said that the Games have come as very much a mood-enhancing thing, because we're not used to blowing our own trumpets. We're fairly modest. We're fairly quiet. We're used to failure. And this has almost taken us by surprise. And many think it's going to be a huge shot in the arm for Britain, and it will give us a lot of confidence, much needed confidence in our own country.
Well, you know, when you were over here, you were surprised at how many flags there were. And I've heard that also from other foreign visitors. They see American flags. We see the huge gas station flags and all the rest. But we saw a lot of British flags waving, too. Do you think there'll be a little bit more of that now?
They tend to come out for special events, like if there's a soccer tournament or something like this. But you know what? I think it's possible that we might see more of that. I think we've realized in Britain now that there's nothing wrong with being proud of your country. We seem to think it's, you know, we think it's too jingoistic, you know, but actually there's nothing wrong with a bit of pride. And I mean, a Canadian newspaper put it brilliantly, talking about where the stadium for the Olympics was built. It was a patch of land scarred black by the Industrial Revolution, bombed flat by Hitler, and denuded by decades of poverty. And onto that was built the stadium, and onto that was the hope of a nation, really.
I can't think of a better place to build an Olympic stadium. So what you're saying is the Brits actually are becoming more American.
That might be possible, yes. I don't know. We've got a long way to go before we get quite that far. But did you notice a few of us were actually there were hands on hearts now from Britons during the national anthem? Saw a bit of that, so it could be happening.
Well, that's great. Well, the British guy who's here to tell us about the wrap-up of the Olympics you won't get anywhere else, Steve Best. Thanks, man. And you're going to take a couple weeks off, but you're going to be back every Wednesday from then on to fill us in with what's happening across the pond, right?
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right. Steve Best here on the Dove. Talk to you later.
Have a great day.